Welcome to the NJHMFA Small Landlord Emergency Grant Program, Round 2. If you already have a login and password from Round 1, please use it to log in. You can check on your status from your application from Round 1, or you can apply for Round 2. If you do not have a login or a password, please click on New User Registration. This application is for the second round of NJHMFA's Small Landlord Emergency Grant Program. The program provides grant assistance to reimburse rent payments that have been missed or reduced between April 2020 and July 2020 due to the COVID-19 emergency. Grant assistance is subject to availability of program funds. An annotated copy of the application with detailed instructions is available here at this link. Please note that you will need a valid and accessible email address to create an account on the application portal. This should be an email account that you can access regularly, as you will be notified about all status updates regarding your application through this email address. Please monitor your spam folder after submitting this application to ensure that NJHMFA messages are not filtered out. If you are awarded a grant, you will need to use the email address to log back into your application portal and provide banking details so that your grant can be dispersed. Please check each box confirming that you meet the program's eligibility requirements. Each box is required. Please read each statement carefully and attest to each one with checking the box. Then enter your name, phone, address, city, state, zip, email, and password to be able to continue with your application. Once you have completed filling out this information to self-register, please press continue. This is the application portal home screen. If you have already applied for Round 1 funds, you may see another bubble here with your applications from Round 1 and their respective statuses. If you would like to apply for a Round 2 application, please choose New Application. This is the property information screen for Round 2. Please provide us with information about your rental property, confirm information about the primary property owner, and detail the decreased rent revenue you experienced as a result of COVID-19. You will need to provide information about rent payment patterns in your units for the pre-COVID period from December to March in order to show NJHMFA reviewers that your rent revenue decreased in the post-COVID period of April to July as a result of COVID-19. For more detailed instructions on how to fill out this application, please click here. Enter your property information first. Most fields are required. Please make sure to fill in any field with a star, as those indicate the required fields. The property information should be entered first. And notice that the total number of housing units ranges from 3 units to 30 units. If you have more than 30 rental units at this property, you are not eligible for this program. Please choose how many total number of housing units are at this rental location using the drop-down box. When you have completed entering the property information, next is the owner registration. If you entered your owner registration on the self-registration page, you can use Copy Owner Info from self-registration page. Click on the blue link and it will transfer the information you entered from your self-registration. If the owner is not the same as the person who self-registered for this application, please enter the primary property owner of the property here. Also select the ownership type as an individual or a legally incorporated entity, and enter the tax ID number for that entity. Note, tax ID number is required. Your application cannot be processed without a valid owner tax ID. Please pay close attention to this field as it will delay your application from being processed if this is not a valid tax ID number. When you are done, press Continue. Next, the rest of the application screens will now fill in. If you scroll down, you will see the rest of the application screens, and at the very bottom of all the screens will be two buttons: Submit a finished application or Save, but do not submit. If you need more time to fill out your application, you can save, but do not submit as many times as needed. Please save often so that you do not lose any of your work. If you need to step away from your computer, please save, but do not submit first. The first question is about mandatory eligibility for the program. The tenants in your property who missed or reduced rent payments due to COVID-19 pay less or equal to the rents listed for your county in the maximum rent section below. Please compare the rents that you have charged for this unit to this rent schedule and attest that your rents are equal to or lower than the rents in the maximum rent window. Please answer yes to this question. All questions in this application require you to answer yes or no, so please select one of the answers for every question asked. There should be a blue dot next to your answer. If any questions do not have a blue dot, please go back and fill them in before you submit. The next section is about the units that you are requesting assistance for. Please insert each unit here by clicking on the blue Insert link. Please insert all units for this property here on this one application. It is not necessary to insert separate applications for every unit, as this could delay your processing of your application. Please insert all units for the property here in this one application. You may need to come back and insert several units and make sure all units, whether 3 units or 30 units, are being applied for. Make sure all units in which you are requesting assistance appear in the property, unit, and COVID-19 impact window before you hit submit. The next screen that will display is information about each unit which you are requesting assistance for. Please enter the building number, the unit designation, how many bedrooms are in the unit, the tenant move-in date, the term of the lease in months, and then give us information about the rent due and the rent received beginning in December of 2019. All rent due fields are required. Please fill in every rent due beginning in December of 2019. Skipping any months in this section will delay processing of your application. Please fill them all in now to avoid having to come back later and give this information to your reviewer. All rent due and rent received fields are required beginning in December of 2019. Please enter each field carefully. The rent due should match the rent charged in the lease, and the rent received should match the rent in your bank statements or other proof of rent deficit documents that you are going to provide. Please make sure each field is entered. Any missing fields will delay processing of your application, as your reviewer will have to get back with you and collect this information for your application. When all entries for rent due and rent received have been filled out, press Calculate Rent Deficit. the total rent deficit for the unit will automatically calculate. Now that you have one unit in your list, if there are other units that you are applying assistance for, please hit Insert again and insert the next unit for your building or your property in which you are requesting assistance for. Enter the building number, another unit identifier, and all the pertinent information again for the second unit for which you are requesting assistance for. Again, include all rent fields. Calculate the rent deficit when you are done. As each unit is added to your application, the total rent deficit for the entire property will also auto-calculate. In my example, my property has 3 total housing units. I am only requesting assistance for 2 of them. It is not necessary to give the same information for the third unit. Only include the units here on the property unit and COVID-19 impact bubble for which you are requesting assistance. Next, we need to upload a lease for every unit that we are requesting assistance for. In this example, we have Building 201 Unit A and Building 201 Unit B. Each unit has an upload button. A lease is required for each unit. Please press Upload. When you choose Upload, you will be given the choice to select a document from your computer or your phone to upload. If you need to take pictures on your phone, you will be able to do that using your phone camera and then upload them to the Upload button. Select a document from your computer or your phone and then click the Open button, and you will see your document uploading. Once your document has been loaded, you will see a Download Latest blue link so that you can see what you have uploaded. You will see a green check mark, which means you have successfully uploaded your document. And then you will have your Upload button and your Add a Page button. Add a Page can be used for adding more documents for this lease, or can be used to simply add pages to your lease. This is helpful if you are on a mobile phone device and need to take pictures of each page of the lease. You can add all pages here. If there are multiple lease documents that you need to upload for Unit A, you can do this by clicking on the Add Page option. It will continue adding documents or adding pages into Unit A. When you are done with Unit A, go on to Unit B and start the upload process again. This time I am selecting my rental agreement for Unit B. Now that I have 2 documents loaded, one for Unit A and one for Unit B, I should see 2 latest blue links here, and I still have my Add a Page option for these units. If I need to include any other documentation, multiple leases, or pages from a current lease, I can do so using Add a Page. When I am done uploading a lease for every unit, I can go on to the next section of the application. Each unit is required to have a lease, so please pay close attention to uploading your lease documentation for every unit in which you are requesting assistance. The next section of the application is for a W-9 form. If you need a W-9 form to fill out, please click the Download button here. When you choose the Download button, your browser will download a copy of the fillable PDF. I am using Google Chrome, and my fillable PDF is here at the bottom of my screen. It will load into a separate tab on my browser. This is a fillable document, so it will let me type in my information. After you've completed the form, you must print this form to sign it. The signature and the date at the bottom of the form are not fillable. You will need to print this form, sign the form, scan the form, and then upload the form back to the portal. The Upload button here is where you will upload your completed W-9 form. The next section is to upload documents for the property. The proof of deficit document can be a bank statement, a financial statement, a certified rent receipt, or PayPal and Venmo statements. You may upload multiple documents here where it says proof of deficit. To start your upload process, click Upload. Upload multiple documents into the proof of deficit. Simply select your first document and click Open. And as you can see, the document is uploading. When this document has finished, you may upload another document for proof of deficit by using the Add a Page feature. Now that my first document is there, I can add a page and I can select another document. In this example, I am uploading my 2019 bank statements, my 2020 bank statements, and a Venmo statement. You can continue to upload documents until you have all of your documents you wish to provide for your proof of deficit. The Add a Page button will allow you to continue to add more and more documents into the same category. Here's my Venmo statement. Now I have uploaded 3 different documents for proof of deficit. When you are done uploading your proof of deficit documents, your completed W-9 form also needs to be uploaded here. Select your completed W-9 statement and upload that as well. Once both have been uploaded, you should see a Latest button here for the proof of deficit and the W-9. Once you are done uploading documents, the Duplication of Benefits section is next. The Duplication of Benefits section is a series of questions asking about assistance through any other program. This affidavit must be completed by all persons and/or businesses that are applying for, been awarded, and/or receiving any assistance funded by the Small Landlord Emergency Grant Program being offered by the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency. The information within this affidavit will provide the NJHMFA with vital information processing the application required by the Stafford Act, Section 312, on duplication of benefits. NJHMFA will complete a duplication of benefits analysis to determine the amount of CARES Act funding received. If approved from a grant from the Small Emergency Grant Program, applicant acknowledges that the SLEG grant amount will be adjusted to account for any duplication of benefits as determined by NJHMFA. To get started, check the first statement. I am the primary property owner and an authorized signer for the above listed property. Next, answer each question about assistance through any other programs. Have you applied for COVID-19 assistance through any of the following programs? Please answer every question in this section. If you have not received assistance from any other program, please choose no. Make sure each question is filled out. The last question is asking if you were part of the Small Landlord Emergency Grant Program for Round 1. If you were, please choose yes to this question. If you were not, please choose no. But please answer the question about your participation in Round 1 of the Small Landlord Emergency Grant Program. The next section is a certification of the application. Eligibility of financial assistance by the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency is determined by the information presented in this application. Any changes in the status of the proposed project from the facts presented herein could disqualify the project. Please answer each one of these questions. There will be a blue circle once the questions have been answered. Please review all questions in this section carefully and make sure all questions have an answer before you submit the application. The last section is the confirmation statements. Pursuant to written policy, the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency allows documents to be signed electronically and hereby agrees to be bound by such electronic signatures. Please confirm that you, as a signatory to this document, also agree to be bound by electronic signatures. These are all required questions. Please make sure each statement has a yes with a blue circle next to it in order to process your application. When you are finished, you may hit the Save but do not submit button or Submit My Finished Application. If at any point during working on your application you choose Save but do not submit, you will be returned to the home screen. You will see your property name and the status of your application. Application started on portal means that you are working on your application and you have not submitted it as of yet. So be sure when you complete your application and you press Submit My Finished Application, then the home screen status will say Application Submitted, and you will know that you have successfully submitted your application on the portal. When you have successfully submitted your application, you will be taken to this screen where you can print your submission form letter. This letter is your confirmation that you have successfully submitted your application. Your status will also change on the home screen to Application Submitted. After you have submitted your application, you may log back into this portal at any time to check the status. If you have also submitted for Round 1, you will see your Round 1 applications as well as your Round 2 applications. This completes the NJHMFA SLEG Round 2 application.